has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast.
It's a pain-free Friday. Ferrall's doling out minutes on the mahogany, waxing it up. 100, 200, the bad, hate the record, the bad, apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, direct trash, some kind of fashion jokes, Dubai, yeah. Along with the hit with the hard and heavy cold and flu season, Carver High this afternoon, the Tutty King. The Tater King, the originator of the Aisle Seat podcast and the rights holder for the Sheet of Integrity. Of course, it all came back to haunt him. The Christmas, the kids, the stress, the pressure, the lights, the tree, the ornaments, and the shopping and the wrapping on Friday night, whatever it was, Tuesday night, the wrapping. And it all caught up with him. Here he is. First, though, the rundown. We've got a double shot with Morency from Vancouver coming up Boxing Day, and Matt Murschel from the Orlando Sentinel College Football. We'll talk about all the games tonight and tomorrow in college bowl action. There's tons of it. Carver High, you're under a tremendous strain, it would appear to me, today. And I also was talking earlier about ways to go. As you know, Kathy O is on death's doorstep in hospice. And I was there today for 5 hours, and Luke asked me, along with Frank the Tank today running the show. Luke asked me, how do I want to go? And I told you, black market Dilaudid pills from Long Island, or he offered a wheelchair shove off of the GW Bridge, which I thought was a rather horrific way to go. I will stick to the overdosing on pills plan. For me, at least, if I get to the point where, listen, I'm watching this woman. She's 120, and like she's on the morphine drip, and I'm just sitting there going, can we get somebody in here to just let her go? Is there any? I mean, what are we doing here? Dr. Jack was right, man. Can we just help them go? Like, what are we doing? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a morphine drip until the organ shuts down. I'm like, what are you talking about? The guy said to me, and I looked at him and I said, listen, do me a favor, bro. I've had 14 surgeries. You can see all the scars. Stick one of those needles in my arm. Give me some of that morphine, son. That's what I said. Give me some of that morphine, son. Give me some of that morphine. And the guy was like, stay back. And I was like, God, I oughta. How you feel, Carver? Not good today?
Yeah, we've had better days, I guess you could say, for all of us. But it's part of the holiday season. You got to try to battle through some of the stuff that gets thrown your way, whether that's health or otherwise, and you got to try to make the best of it. And that's precisely what we are going to try to do today. As I'm watching this Navy-Oklahoma game has been
Venable.
Navy-Oklahoma going here in the Armed Forces Bowl down in Texas. Now, I believe Oklahoma had they have a 14-0 or a 14-7 lead in this game. I think they had a 14-0 lead in this game.
Well, they're losing now. And there's
they're losing now.
Losing now. They have the ball, and Venables is in trouble. Can you imagine? I said to my son, it's his birthday today. By the way, happy birthday to ya, happy birthday to ya, happy birthday to ya, happy birthday to ya. The young gun's birthday. I said, hey, can you imagine Oklahoma is losing to Navy? Now, I don't care how bad Oklahoma is these days, or what they are, or what their record is, or what game they're playing in, or who their coach is. It's Oklahoma. They're losing to Navy in a bowl game. I mean, you have got to be kidding.
To be fair, and this went from, I think, last week, or even like that night we did the bowl special, wasn't Oklahoma like 9 or a 10-point favorite when the line first came out? And then the entire team didn't show up for the game today. Like, they're basically playing walk-ons today at a lot of positions. So you talk about a skeleton crew that Oklahoma brought down to the Armed Forces. Yeah, exactly. And Navy, big spot for them. They're going to try. They got a $137 to go here, and they're going to try to close this out. And we do have other games, too, as Georgia Tech and Vandy are going to get going down at the Birmingham Bowl. So we have that to look forward to as well while we're on Coast to Coast today. And all of them are going to be better than that NFL game that was on last night, right? I know that you've been very busy.
That was the worst football game ever played in civilization. The worst one ever.
For us to have, and thank God Thursday Night Football's over, 2 of the last 3 Thursday Night Football games not having a touchdown scored in it. I mean, imagine the game last night. They didn't have a touchdown scored.
It's so pathetic.
It was just, it's so tough to watch. And it just looked, and you know what the worst part was? All those Bear fans, like, they still show up. Like, do you see them all in the stands? Like, they're all, what are they all doing at that game last night? I mean, go get drunk on Christmas. Go to a Christmas party. I mean, you have got to be kidding me with all of this. So we'll briefly talk about the 6-3 win for Seattle last night in Chicago. But then we got to get to All of Pain Day. 3 games on Saturday, full slate on Sunday. Lots of things are starting to take shape here in terms of the playoff picture, but we do have a couple of games of significance over the next few days, including that Denver-Cincinnati game tomorrow, the middle of the 3 games, bunch of games on Sunday, Atlanta-Washington at night. So you do have Green Bay-Minnesota going to be a good game. We do have a big NFL Week 17 ahead of us this weekend.
So you weren't here yesterday, and I have to go over. Listen, it's all right. We missed you, and it was a mess. We didn't have I forgot to talk about the Pinstripe Bowl with my boy Blue, and he's going to the game to watch his alma mater, BC. He's like,
the Fighting Bluets.
He goes, I'm going to the Pinstripe Bowl. Whatever you do, talk about the Boston College game. And I was like, all right, no worries. And then I forgot to do it. I just realized today I forgot to do it. I owe him an apology.
Well, I got it lined up for you today. Don't worry. Yeah, it's lined up.
But I could give a rat's ass. Okay. So anyway, here's the deal. Listen to this. You know this story, right? So I paid for Steeler playoff tickets, plane tickets, the Willie Penn 5-star. I got the suite at the Willie Penn. All of it is unrefundable. After 5 days of the Willie Penn, you lose. At the airlines, you lose. Tickets, they take your $2,000 and move it toward next year's season ticket plan, whether you like it or not, and you never get any of the money back. Can you imagine that 10 days ago, I was going to a home playoff game on the 11th and 12th. I was going to go to the Senators game, the Lightning game, and a home playoff game. And now, so I said to my son, I go, hey, we still have the tickets to fly there. Why don't we just go to the Senators and Lightning games and go watch the Steelers in a bar on Carson Street with all the Steelers fans, and we'll have a good time. You know what he said to me? Take someone else.
Get out of here.
He said to me.
He said that?
Yeah, he's going with me next week, Saturday, Sunday, to see the Bengals. And you know what he said about that game? He goes, what a bunch of peas. They're going to lose that one, too. I'm like, geez, can you ruin that trip for me, too? Before I even, leave?
They're not going to really lose 4 in a row to end the season, are they? They're going to lose 4 in a row to end the season.
The Bengals, Joey Silk's on fire.
I actually think I was going to propose that to you. I'd go anyway, go to both hockey games, watch the football game at Tom's Watch Bar or something like that. Just go and go there anyway, and that's it. I still go to Pittsburgh.
Right,
because couple Penguin
games. I spent all the money. Why wouldn't I go?
You gotta go. I would go.
Hey, Frank, can you get me a hooker in
line it up?
Don't talk about hooker.
Line them up. That's it. You'll be good to go. Don't do that. No, we're not going to talk about that. We have a lot to do today. We have a lot to do. Several things a lot of NFL, a lot of bowl games, a lot of NBA tonight, a lot of hockey. Hockey's back tonight.
Oh my God, hockey's back tonight. Thank God.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
there's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all, because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 along all of our outlets. More specifically, you can catch Morency with a double shot every day on Coast to Coast. Thank God for that, from Vancouver, BC. And I got to tell you, Morency and I have massive gambling problems. We've been betting on every single thing that comes across our eyes or our viewing patterns, including every bowl game, no matter what it is. The other night, I get bent over in the Hawaii Bowl with the 5 overtimes. But last night, I hit Toledo with the 7. What did you think of Narduzzi? Not like on third down, the play to the tight end where the guy overthrew him from 2 feet away, wide open. And then on 4th and a half yard to win the game, he didn't go for it. He kicked the field goal. They went 6 overtimes. You knew he was going to lose.
I'll tell you what, the Pittsburgh Panthers, Scott, lost like 5 games this year by like 5 points or less. Now I see why. Like, Narduzzi couldn't win, bro, if you gave him a 20-point lead with 2 minutes left.
I know.
Like, they had a million opportunities to finish Toledo off, and they couldn't. Speaking of which, Navy have come back, obviously, on Oklahoma.
We're watching.
Yeah, and it's 3rd and 17. I got a teaser that I hit, but I'm really hoping for a touchdown here. I want more points. I want to go to overtime. But, yes, I think we do have a gambling problem, as you stated, because not only am I sweating out these bowl games, I've actually got big money right now. I swear to God, I'm watching this Oklahoma game. I'm like, son of a bitch. I think I'm going to lose. Then I'm like, what's going on in that Switzerland-Slovakia World Junior Championship hockey game?
Oh, no, wait,
hammered the
down,
under.
There was a holding. Wait, there was a holding.
We got a penalty.
A penalty, first down.
I like this quarterback of OU, Scott. He's a kid. He's a freshman. These losers on Oklahoma, bro, they couldn't catch a football if you hit them in the face with it. Like, they've literally dropped like 6 passes. Like, literally. Like, if not more. Like, he constantly hits them with a pass, and they drop it over and over. I'm like, kid, you're going to have to run it in on your own here at some point. And he still might be able to. I'm telling you, drop back to pass. There's going to be space up the middle for him to take off.
First down inside the 10.
Let's go, Sooners. Let's finish this up, baby. Let's send this game to overtime. Let's get another overtime in a bowl game. He actually caught that one.
There you go. Touchdown. Touchdown, Sooners.
Let's go, Sooners.
Touchdown. They scored. With no time left, they've scored. Now they just need the extra point. We got another overtime game.
He's open. He doesn't catch it. He falls over, Scott. He nearly dropped it. You see? He's like, boom. He falls over. Do you go for two here? Do you just go for two here?
There's no way they have the stones to go for two. There's no way they have the stones the way they played today to go for two. There is no way. There's no way.
I don't know.
Is this guy going for two?
They're on the field still.
Here we go. Here it is. They're going for two. No way. It's not happening. Here we go. They're going for two. This is it, Morency. What do you think?
This is wild. Well, we saw this yesterday, and everybody's been calling every coach out.
Yeah,
I don't know, Scott. I would wuss out. I would kick the extra point. I'll be honest with you.
Well, you'd have better chance of winning the game because you're going to get a possession. Then you go into the 2-point conversions. I think that I would rather go see what I can do because they've been losing in this game and getting their ass beat. They were up big, blew it, then got
maybe they kick now that they've called the timeout here. Maybe they were just bluffing to see if someone was going to jump offside because. I don't mind going for the two when you're in like double overtime, like yesterday. It's like, all right, guys, this is insane. We have a chance. Like you said, Scott, this is a miracle. They're sort of here now. Like, I would just probably finish this thing off. You've got a little momentum down the stretch here. I get both ways here, Scott. I'm on Oklahoma on the money line. That's why I'm like, oh God, it's going to come down to this play.
They're going for it. They're not listening to us. Right. Venables is going for it. Do you think if they obviously they're not going to get rid of Venables, but I would think they should consider it. You lose to Navy in a bowl game. I don't care who you are. Oklahoma should never lose to Navy in a bowl game. And he's going to get sacked. Game over. Navy wins.
Wow, 20, unbelievable.
They sacked him.
And I would have liked overtime.
On the field, they're going crazy. Venables can't believe it. That's what I just asked you. Would you fire Venables? He couldn't beat Navy in a bowl game. Imagine the day that Oklahoma would lose to Navy in a bowl game. I don't care what Oklahoma version we see. Oklahoma should never lose to Navy in a bowl game. Oklahoma football we're talking about here.
Yeah, Navy are a good football team. And, this is the new bowl era that we're in right now, right? Look at Washington State tonight. Washington State have 11 starters out. Like, literally. You only have 22 starters.
17 and a hook.
Yeah, you only have 22 starters, and 11 of them are out. It was the same with Oklahoma. Like, they have, literally freshmen almost everything playing here. They actually battled. This is a classic example. You got a bunch of seniors and men on Navy and a bunch of kids with better talent on Oklahoma, and it was that freaking close. Easy for us to say now. Like I said, bro, I had the over 43. They kicked the extra point. I win my total bet. But it's a cold world. These bowls have been awesome. And I'll tell you, as far as, listen, Venables done, was Texas have adapted quicker, and Oklahoma do have some issues, but it's fixable what's going on with Oklahoma here. He's freaking out. He thinks there was something up. Whatever, Venables. You guys you brought this upon yourself.
They're already kicking the onside kick with 6 seconds left. The game's over. They were getting one, Navy, and they're going to win this game outright, and that's the end of that. I mean, call all the timeouts you want. They're not recovering this kick and scoring in 4 seconds. Okay, that's not happening. This isn't the Bills playing the Chiefs in 13 seconds. This is Oklahoma. This is Oklahoma. The Bills are great. Oklahoma sucks.
What a wild finish! I swear to God, though, these bowl games, this early bowl season has been the best start to the bowl season ever. Like a lot of the time, most of these
are better than the playoff games.
Well, they're better than the NFL games as well. That's a fact. Like, even last night, Bowling Green and Arkansas State was more entertaining than the Bears. I was on live, and we just started focusing more on the college game than the NFL game.
Yeah.
Nearly overtime. We would have been like our, third of overtime in the last 4 bowl games. Unbelievable. They go for the win. They don't get it. Yeah, Venables is really losing it. I don't know what he's so upset about.
It doesn't matter. He's going to need some Tylenol after this game with a migraine he's going to have after losing to Navy. When we come back, the ball's loose, but Navy gets it.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets and when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Talking to Morency on Coast to Coast on a Pain-Free Friday on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Check out Sports Rage at 10 Eastern weeknights. And then for all the football games like Sunday Night Football, he's on. It's just ridiculous. He's on when all the big games are on, and it's just taking advantage of these lousy games and winning you all kinds of cash. A beautiful thing. By the way, Blake Hovarth, he beat Army and Oklahoma back-to-back. I don't think he threw for 100 yards in either game. Now it's Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer, and I drink my whiskey clear. Taking on Vandy, the surprise team in the SEC this year, in the Birmingham Bowl, and you're smelling it over here. And then I want to know what you think of Texas Tech, Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl, Syracuse watching his State of the Holiday Bowl at Snapdragon in San Diego, where Gunner goes to college. It's his birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. A&M and USC in the Vegas Bowl in Sin City to Mega Hub. I want to know all your plays for these.
We're going with Georgia Tech.
All right.
We're going with Georgia Tech in this game. I like what Pavia has done with Vanderbilt. They've been a fun team this year. That was also like 2 months ago. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. And although we've seen teams lose a bunch of games and then they get a spark in the bowl game, Georgia Tech, listen, this is a good Georgia Tech football team. And this is also a very good Georgia Tech football team when you give them time to prepare, as we've seen. They open up the season with the big-time win against Florida State. The win against Miami, they went 44-42 in their last game against Georgia. This Georgia Tech team is a good football team. Haynes King is just one of these kids that won't be denied. This is going to be a super fun game, guys. You have 2 just sort of definitive college quarterbacks. I don't care about your NFL draft talk and all that. Haynes King and Pavia aren't going to be in it, right? This is just 2 college-type quarterbacks. They're going to do whatever it takes to try to win the football game. It should be a close game, should be a fun game, but I like Georgia Tech. And 49 is too light, in my opinion. Both teams are going to get into the 20s in this football game. So we're going to go over the 49. We like Georgia Tech on the money line. Texas Tech and Arkansas, it's a little bit tricky. I like this Arkansas team. They've been pretty good to me. They have their quarterback playing, but they have a lot of losses on the defensive side of the football. They got hit kind of hard in the transfer portal, Arkansas. And Texas Tech really did not. Like Texas Tech Their quarterback isn't playing, but it's because he's hurt. So, and their running back isn't playing because he's good and he's going to the NFL. But for the most part, Texas Tech are locked and loaded, ready to go. The quarterback that they have played this year as well. He's been in the system. We're talking about a team that just hung like 55 on West Virginia a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
This should be a high-scoring game as well. And I just think Texas Tech are a little bit more polished than Arkansas. Although, listen, you got Petrino in here. You got Pittman and company. They're going to air this thing out. Like, there should be points. Both teams going to play at a fast tempo here. So I like the over, but I lean Tech. Washington State, guys, I don't like overreacting to transfer portal stuff because often in college, guys, next man up or the freshman is better or whatnot. Washington State is a different scenario, man. They lost their coach, their defensive coordinator, their offensive coordinator, their quarterback coach, their running back coach. I think the cheerleaders are coaching the team tonight. I think they might have transferred to Washington too. Actually, they wanted out. Dude, there's only 22 starters on a football team. 11 of them left. Like literally, 11 of them. They don't have their quarterback, their running back, their wide receivers, their offensive linemen. They're like this is going to get ugly tonight. There's a reason, like the odds makers aren't dumb. There's a reason why it's up to 18. Syracuse is going to win this football game like 45-10 or something. They won't let up either. And Syracuse, you saw Fran Brown said, we don't do the transfer opt-out here. We like to play football. Like, they've got everybody, and they're not going to let up. And this is a good Syracuse team with a potent offense, man. Washington State's defense kind of sucked when they had everybody. Like I said, this is going to be a one-sided beatdown
and what
tonight,
about
like
41-7. What about the last one?
I don't want to say it's the game I like the best, Scott, but I kind of do. I think USC are screwed tonight. And Texas A&M are another one. They don't have a ton of opt-outs. They have a new coach with Elko. They had a pretty good year. Yeah, they lost to Texas, but they were one win away from the SEC Conference Championship game. They're feeling good about the direction of the program. How's Lincoln Riley feeling now, Scott? Anyone that knows the Trojans, bro, dude, it's a disaster. Like, you can't get players to go there. He's losing players. They're losing games.
And the Devils tonight at the Rock. What do you think of that one?
Well, Carolina and the Devils tonight. Oh, that's a tough one coming off the Christmas break. But give me the home team at the Rock with the Devils.
At the Rock. There you go. All right, Morency, great stuff. You're the man. Hope you had a great Boxing Day in Canada. We love you.
Let's go, Scott.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. only on SportsGrid.
All right, so I got to be honest here, Carver High. Let's just spill the beans. So last night, that game was so bad. The Seahawks-Bears game was so bad that I watched episode 7 of Landman in Luke's honor. And then it was so bad that I decided when I was done with episode 7 of Landman, which is basically where the show's at now, I've caught up. I've started a new series on Paramount called The Agency with Fassbender and Richard Gere and the guy Jason Wright or whatever his name is. And I have to tell you, it is awful. I watched 2 episodes and I wanted to gouge my eyes out. It was so boring. I don't know if you've watched that one, Luke, but but I have to tell you, it was so awful that it was 5 times better than the Seahawks and Bears.
Anything was 5 times better than the Seahawks and Bears. Pretty much anything that you could think of. Like an Oklahoma Navy game was better than the Seahawks and Bears. Everything is better than what you watched last night. But despite all of that, I still have to at least let you know some of the particulars before we move on to the rest of the slate this weekend. 6-3 was the final. So I don't have any touchdowns to play you. But at the end, the Bears were driving. Seemed like maybe they would have to a chance at minimum tie the game.
No way.
At 6. And let's just say what was a very long night for Caleb Williams finished off really how the entire night went on Westwood One Sports.
From the 40, this is your ball game if they don't get it. Williams gets the shotgun snap. Here comes pressure. Williams in trouble. Off his back foot. A wobbler in midair, and it's intercepted by Reek Woolen. Picked off by Woolen. He'll take it out of bounds, and Seattle will steal a win in the Windy City.
Is that our guy from Boston? Remember that used to do the games on Westwood One? Does the NCAA basketball too? You remember? Remember he used to do this stuff?
I believe. No. That was not him. That was Kevin Kugler right there last night.
Fail.
That was Kevin Kugler on Westwood.
So he doesn't count.
So I know who you're talking about. The name right off the top of my head escapes me, but
Alzheimer's. I can't remember his name.
I will remember at some point in the next 20 minutes what his name is, and I will get that for. Oh, Brandon Gowden was with Westwood One, who now does the Brave games. He's the voice of the Braves television now. He does the Braves for baseball, Brandon. So he does a few things. Lots of college hoops. He does as well. We love Brandon Gowden. Very good. But yes, that was Kevin Kugler. Here is Caleb Williams. Now, look, it's been a long year, man. Somebody's just got to get this guy to the beach. Like, get him out of Chicago for 6 weeks or 6 months or whatever. Just get him out of there. Your boy's ready to go.
What issues did you see on the final drive as far as lack of urgency and clock management, timeout management?
Yeah, I haven't been able to obviously digest it all, so I can't really give you a full answer. I think we simply didn't execute. I think obviously, there's times where you can have a better call, want a better call, things like that. But we didn't execute. I didn't execute on many different occasions this game, and it's frustrating. But
you ain't no rookie of the year, bitch.
Got to find a way.
He's not going to be the rookie of the year. No, it's been a very long season for the Bears, and it's almost over. Thankfully for them, as they have now lost. I guess it's 10 games in a row. They have lost after being 4-2.
How many times have I told
They're
you?
now 4-12.
They are the laughing stock of the NFL since 1985. This has been going on. I am done listening to Poole, your boy Dental Floss, Your boy Caleb Williams. You got Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Super Bowl. Like, are you kidding me? They are so far removed from a Super Bowl. I mean, it is 10 in a row. You realize they have never once lost 11 in a row. Do you understand that? They're going to lose 11 in a row. They are going to lose their next game as well. I don't even care who they're playing. They are awful. And then, they tried to sell us that they're good at home. They were 4-4 at home. They're not good at home either. They're not good ever. You know what? That kid learned the hard way because he thought he was smooth, cool hand Luke going in there. Like he was going to be the baddest dude in the NFL. And he got smothered all year, every week. He got knocked around like a piñata. That's it. I don't care what anybody thinks. Kiss my ass.
They play the Packers next week, who I think they've beaten the Packers once or twice in the last 10 years.
30 years.
So they've had all kinds of problems with the Packers. It is amazing. And just imagine the McCaskey family. They got to listen to the whole crowd chanting "Sell the team" last night at Soldier Field. They used to be one of the pillar family franchises in the NFL, and now everybody wants them out.
All the McCaskies in the ground are spinning in their graves.
Yes, that is very possible. Not a good scene for George, who now runs the team, and all of them, as the Bears are they're finished. Seattle did hold on. They are still alive, but
awful.
barely breathing. They could use an Arizona win over the Rams tomorrow night.
Not happening.
And that would, I don't disagree with you, but that would keep Seattle's season going.
Let me tell you something, Mike, for
just
1
a little
second
bit
real
longer.
quick.
Sure.
This is clearly.
I got a lot of time.
You and I have the One and Done Club. Every year we go through this, and we welcome new members in. Some people like the Hall of Fame, the Yellow Jackets, and then there's the Carver High and Ferrall One and Done Club, which is very popular. Hard to get a membership, valet parking, 2 18-hole golf courses. The North is not as good as the South. Incredible 5-star Michelin restaurant. And when you're in the One and Done Club, Seattle, we welcome in to the One and Done Club this year in the playoffs. If they get into the playoffs, they will lose their playoff game as sure as I'm sitting here.
They're not getting in, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to get in the playoffs, so it doesn't make a difference. And they would be a one and done. I will also let you know, I couldn't, after all the excitement of that Oklahoma Navy game, and especially yesterday, that Toledo Pitt game, which was full of excitement.
Yeah,
I couldn't sit on the sidelines for this Georgia Tech Vanderbilt game.
Can't do it.
I am in on the Commodores here against Georgia Tech. I am on Vandy and Diego Pavia, who next year will play college football when he's 35 years old, the quarterback for Vandy. So I am all in with the Commodores and Clark Lea this afternoon. Let's go. In a very, very rainy Birmingham ball.
I'm
pouring.
on the rambling wreck. I mean, my ties to Georgia Tech, my friendship with Bobby Cremins. I lived in Atlanta twice. I got to go with the rambling wreck.
It's very understandable, and I don't.
I saw Pink Floyd live outdoors at Bobby Dodd on a bag of mushrooms. Are we on the air? Don't talk about placebo.
Don't talk about that. That's
Frank
not good.
is upset. The red phone's ringing.
All right. You'll talk after you talk to Matt. I'll save all this because we have to give Jim Harbaugh. We play a clip of him. We have to at least give him some space. I'm not going to rush him in and out before you talk to Matt. So you'll come back and talk to Matt about these bowl games, and then I'll start you on Saturday's triple header in the NFL, which will have Chargers in New England, Broncos in Cincinnati, and Arizona in Los Angeles at SoFi against the Rams. So 3 games on a Saturday. There's 3 NFL games, and there's 9 bowl games tomorrow, too. There's a ton of games on Saturday.
It's fantastic. Let's stop acting like the Arizona game tomorrow has any weight at all in my pockets. They're done. They're toast. They're finished. They're not going to the playoffs. They don't care. Gladbag City game of the week. Arizona tomorrow, the Gladbag City game of the week.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Our national college football correspondent is Matt Murchell of the Orlando Sentinel, and we're just going to have him do it right now, live on television. Matt, just admit it. The playoff games suck compared to these crappy bowl games that are awesome.
Yeah, I think some of these bowl games have been outstanding. I mean, how many times you get to see a 6 overtime game, a 5 overtime game? You've seen some of the better plays we've seen all season so far. I mean, there have been more drama in these games than they have been in the first round of the playoffs. And I mean, again, I'm not going to downplay some of these teams that are in the playoffs, but these games have definitely mattered more, I think, in some regard to some of these teams than the playoff games did.
Without a doubt. Like, can you imagine how I said earlier that Venables looked like he was ready to drink a bottle of Tylenol pills after watching his team lose to Navy? He was so mad, like he was losing his mind on the sideline. I don't know what his problem was, but, he didn't have everybody playing in that game today. What's he to expect, right? And Navy beating them, it was really something. Like I said on the air, I'm like, it's Oklahoma. I don't care how good they are, how average they are, how anything they are. They're losing to Navy in a bowl game.
Yeah, and let's not forget they also are just joined the SEC. So that's another thing that Navy can hang on their hat is the idea that, okay, we not only beat a program like Oklahoma, Blue Blood, we beat an SEC team now. So that adds a little bit more to what they were able to accomplish this season. 10 wins was outstanding for Navy this year. And I mean, for them to do this, in this game, I think it just meant a lot. Again, you could say what you will about Venables. I mean, going for it for 2 at the end rather than kicking the extra point and going overtime. I mean, I think that's just a coach trying to get more from what he has out there. And again, his team was missing a lot of players because of guys who've entered the transfer portal.
Cry me a river. I'm sick of hearing about that stupid transfer portal. I'd rather watch Dr. Pepper commercials than hear about it anymore. I really do. Like every game. Like now I'm hearing about Washington State tonight. They have nobody playing. And, well, then why play the game? Then why be in the game?
Well, ask Marshall that. I mean, Marshall, dropped out of its bowl game because it said, we didn't have enough players to make it. Yeah, smart. Why go in this game and embarrass ourselves if we don't have enough players to actually make it feasible? So, I mean, I don't think it's going to get to that point all the time. I think at some point they're going to have to make some adjustments to the portal thing because they can't be doing this as you go into these bowl games, because you're just seeing how these teams over left and right are losing their quarterbacks or losing their top players. And then what happens is you've got some teams where they let the guys who are in the transfer portal play or practice during bowl week. You know what I mean? And some coaches aren't that nice. Those guys are gone. They're off the roster. They're not even on the online roster. So I think something's going to happen to change all this, because I'd like to see some of these games where there were players who actually we saw during the season maybe could step up and make plays. It's great to see some of these teams like Miami with Cam Ward, guys like that who are willing to play in these games.
There's no way in any shape or form that I'll ever agree that you should be allowed to play in a bowl game when you're leaving the school to go play somewhere else. That is absolute bullshit. That's what that is. Like, there is no way you can tell me a kid's leaving. I'm out of here. Bye. Oh, but hey, before I leave, let me play a bowl game on national television so everyone can watch me. What kind of phony ass shack is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just depends on the coaches. I've had coaches tell me, listen, the moment you walk into the moment you put your name in the transfer portal, you're done. Pack up your stuff. It's time to move on. You've made your decision. I've also had other coaches tell me, well, maybe we can convince the kid to change his mind. Maybe that's an opportunity to see that happen. I just don't know in today's day and age if that's going to be the case. I mean, I know coaches are trying to deal with this as best they can. And we've seen some guys who are obviously stepping away from the game because they can't handle what's going on here now with the transfer portal. And then I look at on the basketball side of things, Jim Larinaga from down in Miami. I mean, here's a guy who had a pretty good career, and he's walking away because he feels like he doesn't have what it takes to get the team ready.
Well, I mean, he literally said, right out of his mouth, I heard him say it. He goes, I'm sick and tired of it, the transfer portal. Yeah. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not having fun. I don't enjoy being a coach anymore. I don't care how old I am. I'm done with this nonsense. They have ruined college sports. The NCAA, literally on its head, has ruined college sports. Can you imagine? I am positive. I worked for Bob Knight for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He would no more put up with this than fly a kite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there are a lot of coaches like that. There are a lot of coaches that I've talked with who said, listen, I have no desire to do this anymore. I have no desire to, I've had coaches tell me there's situations where middle of the season, players have come into their office and sat down and said, I want to talk about renegotiating my NIL deal. I want to get more money. I want to be able to, and it's like the coaches look at him going, what are you talking about? You've got a deal. You got a deal in place. And I think part of that too is, let's not forget, Scott, a lot of these guys, the kids don't understand exactly what the deals are. They don't understand how that works. You know what I mean? And I think you're right. There are a lot of coaches out there. That's why you're seeing more and more of coaches who've been around for a long time walking away now. Now, Bill Belichick's going to be interesting at North Carolina. Here's a guy who comes in from the NFL who's dealt with salary caps, who's dealt with players who've had contract disputes. He understands exactly what the kind of the mentality is. And I think he's got a better chance maybe to kind of deal with some of these issues and not maybe feel the stress of it because he's dealt with the professional NFL side of things.
Who do you like tomorrow in 2 games? I got 1 minute respectfully. The Miami Iowa State game, am I tripping? And the BYU Colorado game.
I like Miami. I think they find a way to finish off this season. They've done a pretty good job so far. And then on the other game, for me, I like Colorado. I just think the job that Deion has done with that team, the players they have, having all their other guys come back, for this game, I think they have an opportunity to put up some big points, and it's going to be a good finish for them as well.
Man, I got to tell you. And then what do we got? New Year's Eve, Tuesday night, we got the Notre Dame Georgia game. Is that right? Is that the first game, or am I tripping, or is it the Penn State Iowa? I think it's Penn State Boise.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's Penn State Boise, and that's one where again, can Alshon Gentry keep doing what he's done all season long? Can he run the ball effectively and get away to beat Penn State? Penn State's defense looked really good against SMU, so I think that's going to be good for them.
You're a badass. I love you. Happy New Year, brother. Thanks for coming on Coast to Coast today. Have a great weekend. Enjoy these crazy bowl games.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. You too.
There he is, Matt Murschel from the Orlando Sentinel, styling with us.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
So, Carver, I was talking to you about Bob Knight. So I watched an old interview with Al McGuire with Bob Knight from literally 30 years ago. And he was friends with Al McGuire like nobody's business. So he would do an interview with him without tearing his head off. Like if he did an interview with anyone else, you were at his mercy and you could have been eaten alive. Like this guy would drop bombs on you on the air. He did not care if he was on live television or if he was on taped television. He would drop bombs like to the point where they couldn't even control it. Like if it was live television, I mean, he dropped so many bombs that they just couldn't beep it. They just couldn't keep up with him. And they were slipping on the air left and right. He did an interview with ESPN once with Steve Alford, and Alford never said one word. And all he did with the entire interview, Bob Knight, was cuss. He cussed up and down with every swear word known to man. And he went after the media like no one else. But in this interview with Al McGuire, two things he said was, one, he said the three-point shot will ruin basketball. He's right. It already has ruined basketball. People can argue until they're blue in the face. Basketball has never been the same since they allowed that three-point shot. Now, remember, the three-point shot is very exciting. Steph Curry, greatest shooter of all time. Reggie Miller, all the rest. Klay Thompson, all the rest. But the reality is they talk all the time about, like Doris Burke the other night. Embiid's such a pick and roll guy. He's got the pick and roll. There's no pick and roll in the NBA. All there is threes. College basketball has become a nightmare. All they do is shoot threes. Guys pull up from 40 feet and shoot. Caitlin Clark, God bless her, greatest thing that ever happened to basketball. She shoots 50-footers, okay? Ionescu, 50-footers. I mean, they pull up from half court now. It's embarrassing. He was right about that. Second thing he was right about, they asked him about paying players 30 years ago. And he's long dead and gone now, my friend Bob Knight, who I looked up to like no other. Scared to death of him, but I looked up to him. He said about paying players, he said, well, I'll tell you, Al, I got no problem at all giving a kid a stipend of a couple of $100 a week, considering how much goddamn money they make all these other sports that don't make any money. All that they have in NCAA sports is football and basketball, making all the money for all the other sports to exist. Some of these kids deserve to be able to go out and have some money and take their girlfriend out for a slice of pizza. We'll give him a couple of $100 a week. I don't promise that. Can you imagine this guy rolling in his grave and paying some kid to play basketball $4 million at BYU? I mean, the NCAA is an abortion, what they have done to college athletics. I told you on this show years ago, there's not one kid that goes to class. Not one. In football or basketball. There's not one kid that goes to class. I want to see him. I want to watch him do it. I want to watch film of him sitting in class at college somewhere. I want to see it. Student athletes, my ass. Oh, he's an All-American scholar. He's got a 3.9 GPA. Bullshit. No one goes to class. Everyone gets paid like they're a professional. They've already ruined college sports. And Bobby Knight was right about all of it. 30 years ago, he was ahead of his time. He was smarter than Patton. You can quote me on that. I don't care what anybody thinks of me.
He is not wrong about what has happened with college sports. There's no question about that.
That's what's wrong with the NBA.
It is, yes, and the threes with the NBA he's right about too. But obviously this college sports thing, and I'm sure you talked about Larinaga yesterday, and I got a clip of him later. Like I got the clip later where he's just like, "We went to the Final Four, and 9 of my kids went in the transfer portal. Like what? You gotta be kidding me! Like what goes on around here?" It's so true. What happens with college sports now? It's out of control. Vandy's just across the 50, scoreless late in the first quarter in Birmingham for that. We'll come back and start going through all the games for this week. I will give you this news that just came across. We'll talk about the Eagles-Cowboys later, but Jalen Hurts officially out.
Oh, what a shame.
So Kenny Pickett. Small hands Kenny will get the rock for them in that game. Also, the Browns and Deshaun Watson agreed to contract restructure. So Watson will be back with the Browns next year. How about that?
Commode, you're inside the 10.
Let's go here, Vandy. Let's get off to a big start. Get on the board first here in Birmingham. Let's go.
They're already in trouble. The Yellow Jackets, the Rambling Wreck.
Gotta have it.
Hell of an engineer. Hell of an engineer. And a drink of whiskey clear.
You're not riding with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Where have you gone? Don't tell me it's the Philadelphia Eagles, Donnie. Who's the team for you?
You see that Vince Lombardi trophy that sits back here? That's a replica. And that's something that the Philadelphia Eagles have won as recent as 2017. The Buffalo Bills are notorious for making it to the Super Bowl and coming up lame, which they might be able to do. But my question is, can the Buffalo Bills even get to the Super Bowl?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all people.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. The holidays come with a touch of craziness, from unwrapping the latest storylines to the best betting insights. We've got everything you need to crank up the excitement this season. We can't promise there won't be a little yelling.
Played a decent schedule. They had maybe 500.
Got it.
Oh, they just ruined my day.
But we can guarantee a whole lot of fun. Merry Christmas from all of us at SportsGrid.